Last Mataji. Last may we'll do Harinam Sankirtan.
Okay, no problem.
Okay. Hare Krishna. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Mano Vishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vande Ham Shri Guru Shri Udapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parjana Sahitam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakanitamsha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Peshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Gurave Gaurachandraya, Radhikaya Dharale, Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya, Tadbhaktaya, Namo Namaha. Mukam Karoti Vachalam, Pangum Lankayate, Girim Yat Kripatam Aham Vande, Shri Gurun Dinatarinam, Paramananda Madhavam, Shri Krishna Chaitanya Ishwaram, Hari Om, Tat Sat. Hare Krishna. So thank you all for joining in. We are reading from the book Beyond Birth and Death. So we are on chapter number 4 of this book. So yesterday we were seeing how the abode of the Lord, na tad bhashyate suryo na shashanko na pavakaha yad gatvana nivartante tad dhama paramam mama. Just one second. Hare Krishna. Yeah. So we were seeing how na tad bhashyate suryo na shashanko na pavakaha yadgatvana nivartante tad dhama parama mama. Where Krishna himself is saying that if you come back to my eternal abode, then that such abode is will not be illumined by electricity, sun or moon, etc. And one who is coming back to me, to my spiritual abode, Goloka Vrindavan Dham, he will not have to go back to this material world. And it is also saying what is the significance of light here? The significance of light here is ignorance, right? We were talking about asatoma sadgamaya, tamasoma jyotirgamaya, mrityoma amritam gamaya, om shanti shanti shanti, like that, right? So what are we talking about? This material world is equivalent to ignorance or darkness. The darkness is of ignorance. And when we enlighten ourselves with the knowledge of the Shastras from a bona fide Guru and Sadhu, then what happens? Even in this material world, we can be transcendently situated, right? So there are two meanings when we come from Asatoma Sadgamaya or Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya. And actually, we are talking about this illumination of knowledge which is revealed in our heart. What is talked about here is spiritual knowledge, right? So this is what Krishna says in 15.6, that once you return to my abode, then you will not again return to this material world. Okay, so let's continue reading. The spiritual world is called unmanifested, avyakta. Avyakta. Vyakta means we are all manifest. Vyakti, we call each other, right? Vyakti means individual. Avyakto means what is unmanifested. What is unmanifested means what we cannot see with our eyes, what we cannot touch with our hands. That's what is called avyakta or unmanifested. It's something which is not perceived by the material senses. Avyakto akshariti yukta samahu paramam gatim yam prapyana nivartante tadhama paramam mama. So Krishna tells in Bhagavad Gita that supreme abode. Previously also he told, what was that? Natad bhashyati suryo na shashanko na pavaka yadgatvan nivartante tadhama paramam mama. So the description of the spiritual world is continuing. What are the The description of the spiritual world is getting continued further here. Avyakto akshara yuktas. What is unmanifested and what is infallible, that is the supreme destination. Again he says, yam prapyana nivartante tadhama paramamama. Again, when something is getting repeated, we should understand. Simply by following the practice of devotional service, we'll be able to see with our eyes what is normally not seen. When we go back to that spiritual world, when our eyes are anointed with premanjana churita bhakti vilochanena, santa sadaiva hridayesh vilokayanti, yam shama sundaram achinta gunaswarupam, govindam adi purusham, tamaham bhajami. We'll be able to see with our eyes what is not even manifest. Right? If we go back to that particular world, and in this material world also, if we build our consciousness with so much of surrender unto the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then we will be able to see things which are not manifest. Right? When great devotees go to Vrindavan Dham, today also they see Chintamamani Prakarasatmasu Kalpa Vriksha, Lakshavrateshu Surabhirabi Palayantam, Lakshmi Sahasra Shambharam Sevyamanam, Govindam Adi Purusham Tamam Bhajami. That's what pure devotees see when they go to even to Gokula Vrindavan. But what do we see? Right? We see what is only manifest in front of our eyes. Because we've not actually anointed our eyes with prema bhakti. We have not anointed our eyes with love. That is why we are seeing what is shown to us. What we can see is what is manifest before us. But the unmanifest, real Vrindavan becomes visible to that person, becomes a pure devotee of the Lord. Yeah. So let's ask Shobha Mataji to continue reading. A great journey is indicated in this verse. So this is a journey from avyakta to vyakta. What we can also see, what is not manifest in front of the eyes, that we can see by the tinge of love that we can apply as kajal in our eyes. Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam Mataji, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. A great journey is indicated in this verse. We have to be able to penetrate outer space, transverse the material universe, penetrate its covering, and enter the spiritual sky. Paramham Gati. That journey is supreme. There is no question of going a few thousand miles away from this planet and then returning. This sort of journey is not very heroic. We have to penetrate the whole material universe. This we cannot do by spaceship, but by Krishna consciousness. One who is absorbed in Krishna consciousness.
Haribol, what happened to you?
Hello? Hare
Yes,
Krishna. One who is observed in Krishna consciousness and who at the time of the things of Krishna is at once transferred there. If we are all want to go to that spiritual sky and cultivate eternal, go to that spiritual sky and cultivate eternal, blissful, full of knowledge, we will have to begin now to cultivate a Satchit Ananda body. It is said that Krishna has a Satchit Ananda body, Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha, and we also have a similar body of eternity, language, knowledge and bliss. But it is very small and is covered by the dress of matter. If somehow or other we are able to give up this false dress, we can reach the spiritual kingdom. If once we can attain that spiritual world, return is not necessary. Yam prapyana nivardante. Everyone then should try to go to the Hare Krishna Dandavat Hari Bol.
Yeah, so we were discussing this, right? We are also Satchit Ananda like that of the Lord. However, we are minute particles of Satchit and Ananda. We also want bliss. We also want knowledge. We also want to be eternal. We are eternal. We are knowledge. We have the knowledge. And we are blissful, right? But our amount of bliss and our amount of knowledge and our amount of eternity is minuscule as compared to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Sri Krishna. And even when we go back to the Goloka Vrindavan, we would still be minuscules. We'll be jivas. We'll be serving the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is unlimited, like that. Okay, so what should everyone try to do? Why Prabhupada is explaining what is the nature of the spiritual world, why it is not illuminated by sun, moon and electricity, and whoever goes there will not come back to this material world. Why Prabhupada is describing that Dhamma, which is Paramam. Why? Because he wants to develop our attraction for that supreme Dham. We want to go back home, back to Godhead. Only then we will engage in the process of devotional service. When we want to reach a particular place, only we'll find out what is the direction, we need to turn left or right, how do we go to that particular place. So first and foremost, we have to have our goal right. What is the goal? We want to go back to the eternal abode of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, which is Goloka Vrindavan Dhama. Like that. Okay, Sindhu Mataji, continue.
Hare Krishna, pranams, Mataji.
Pranams.
Everyone then should try to go to that Dhama Paramam, Krishna's supreme abode. Krishna himself comes to call us, and he gives us the literatures as guidebooks and sends us bona fide representatives. We should take advantage of this facility given to human life. For one who reaches that supreme abode, penances, austerities, yogic meditations, and so on are no longer required. And for one who does not reach it, all penances and austerities are a useless waste of time. The human form of life is an opportunity to get this boon, and it's a duty of the state, parents, teachers, and guardians to elevate those who have acquired this human form of life to attain this perfection of life. Simply eating, sleeping, mating, and quarreling like cats and dogs is not civilization. We should properly utilize this human form of life and take advantage of this knowledge to prepare ourselves in Krishna consciousness, so that 24 hours of the day we will be absorbed in Krishna, and at death at once transferred to that spiritual sky. Purushaha sa paraha partha bhaktya labhyasva ananyaya yasyantaha stani bhutani yena sarvam idam tatam. Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is greater than all, is attainable by unalloyed devotion. Although he is present in his abode, he is all-pervading and everything is situated within him. Gita 8.22. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. So in this particular paragraph, what is Prabhupada saying? Prabhupada is saying we have to become 24 hours of the day, we have to be absorbed in Krishna. Right? The entire lifetime is a preparation, and death is the examination. Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tyajati anta kalevaram tam tam evaiti kaunteya sada tad bhava bhavitaha. Krishna tells in Bhagavad Gita 8.6 that whatever state you remember at the time of death, that state you will attain without fail. And in the previous verse he says, anta kale chamameva smaran muktva kalevaram ya prayati samad bhavam yati nati atra samshayaha. There is no doubt that if you think of me at the time of death, you will come back to me. But if you, whatever state of being you think, that state you will attain without fail. And Prabhupada is saying 24 hours of the day, if you're absorbed in Krishna, then only we will be able to remember Krishna at the time of death. If your entire life, we cannot be thinking of movies and sports and academics and whatnot, movie stars, and then to try to remember Krishna at the time of death. Only the movie stars will come in our mind at the time of death, right? But if we have been practicing devotional service throughout our life, always thinking of how I can serve Krishna, how I can serve Guru and Gauranga, then that is what will come at the time of death. And when we remember Krishna at the time of death, then we will be going back to the abode of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So what is the one qualification? Unalloyed devotion. That Supreme Abode is attainable by unalloyed devotion. Nothing else is required. The only qualification is sincere, unalloyed devotion unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Okay, Sumati Mataji, go ahead. If you are at all interested from there.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Ganda. If we are at all interested in reaching that Supreme Abode, the process as indicated here is Bhakti. Bhaktya means devotional service, submission to the Supreme Lord. The root word for Bhaktya is Bhaj, which means service. The definition of Bhakti given in the Narada Pancharatra is freedom from designation. If one is determined to get out of all the designations and are always changed when the body is changed, one can attain to Bhakti. Bhakti is realizing that one is pure spirit and not matter at all. Our real identity is not this body, which is simply a covering of the spirit, but our real identity is Dasa, servant of Krishna. When one is situated in his real identity and is rendering service to Krishna, he is a Bhakta. Rishikena Rishikesha Seva. When our senses are free from material designations, we will utilize them in the service of the master of the senses, Rishikesha or Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. So this is a very beautiful verse in Nectar of Devotion. It says, Sarvopadi, Sarva Upadi, Vinir Muktam, Tat Paratvena Nirmalam, Rishikena Rishikesha Sevanam Bhakti Ruchyate. Sarva Upadi Vinir Muktam. That means we have to come out of all of our material designations. Right? That Paratvena Nirmalam. All of our senses will become purified. When? Rishikena Rishikesha Sevanam. When we engage our senses in the service of the master of the senses, then what happens? We come out of all the designations. I am a woman, I am a wife, I am a mother, I am a father, I am a son, I am a grandfather, I am a grandmother. We come out of all these material designations. And then what do we think? I am a spirit soul, right? I have to serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In that consciousness, when we serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sarva Upadhi Vinyan Muktam, when we are cleared of all the designations, Tat Paratvena Nirmalam, then our senses get purified. Then we engage in the service of the Lord, Rishikena Rishikesha Sevanam, and that is Bhakti Uttama. That is the supreme pure bhakti. That is pure devotional service. And here Prabhupada uses a word, bhakti. Bhakti comes from the root word called bhaj. Bhaj means to serve. That is why in bhakti, wherever bhakti is there, entire Bhagavad Gita, be it Bhagavatam, wherever Prabhupada is translated, Prabhupada always translates bhakti as devotional service, never as devotion. Because what is there in the mind? Something can be in the mind, something need not be in the mind, something can come and go. But when we actually engaging in physical service, then it actually gives a demonstration of our devotion, right? Otherwise, we can love somebody, but if we don't serve them, then it is not actually love, right? So to love means to serve means to please. As well as Radhanath Swami Maharaj, one of the quotes in one of his lectures, he says, to love means to serve. If we love somebody, we have to serve them. And to serve is to please them, right? We have to serve them not because we like, not for our pleasure, but we need to serve the Lord for his pleasure. That is love, and love means service. Okay. All right. So let's move ahead. Who has to read now? Priyanka Mataji, go ahead. As Rupa Goswami points out.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. As Rupa Goswami points out, we have to serve Krishna favorably. Generally, we want to serve God for some material purpose or gain. Of course, one who goes to God for material gain is better than one who never goes, but we should be free from desire for material benefit. Our aim should be to understand Krishna. Of course, Krishna is unlimited, and it is not possible to understand him. But if we have to accept what we can understand, the Bhagavad Gita is specifically presented for our understanding. Through receiving knowledge, in this way, we should know that Krishna is pleased, and we should serve him favorably, according to his pleasure. Krishna consciousness is a great science with immense literature, and we should utilize them for attainment of bhakti.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So this particular paragraph is talking about what is pure devotional service. We're just discussing this. Anya Abhilashita Shunyam. All the other material benefit, desire for material benefit should become zero. Our aim should be to understand Krishna, who is unlimited, right? So Anya Abhilashita, all other material desires should become zero. Anya Abhilashita Shunyam. Jnana Karmadi Anavritam. Anukulyena Krishna Anushilanam. That's why Prabhupada is talking about receiving knowledge in a way that will let us know how Krishna is pleased. How do we do that? Tadvidi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshinaha. When we approach a bona fide spiritual master, render service to that spiritual master and inquire submissively, then the spiritual master will reveal to us what is the process of devotional service that will please the Supreme Lord. It is a well-known secret, isn't it? Chanting Hare Krishna pleases Prabhupada, pleases Guru Maharaj, pleases Krishna, pleases Mahaprabhu. Right? It's a well-known secret. But how do we understand what was the mood in which we need to serve the Lord? When we are performing chanting also, we need to do for the pleasure of the Lord. We need to beg for service to the Lord, and we should also develop the attitude of rendering service in a favorable way. Right? Utilize everything, whatever we have in the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is bhakti. That is actual vairagya, yukta vairagya. Then enter devotion. Rupa Goswami says, yukta vairagya muchyate. What is that? Anashaktasya vishayan yadaram upayunjataha nirbandha Krishna sambandhe yukta vairagya muchyate. Not being attached to anything, but utilizing everything, whether it is a laptop or the computer or the speaker or the kartal or whatever, water bottle, everything, whatever we have, we are going to utilize it in the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And that is real devotional service. That is real renunciation. That is what distinguishes Tyaga from Sannyasa. Tyaga means we are utilizing everything for the pleasure of the Lord. We are not attached to the benefit of doing any activity. You're performing a karma, that is Tyaga. Sannyasa is just an order of life, right? We are not doing certain activities. We don't want to become a sannyasi. We want to practice Tyaga even situated in the Grahastha ashram. Even being a Grahastha woman or a Grahastha man or Vanaprastha or a Brahmachari, whatever is our Varna or Ashrama, whether it is Brahmachari, Grahastha, Vanaprastha, Sannyasi, or whether we are Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya or Shudra, according to our guna and karma, whatever Varnashrama system we want to belong to, we can always practice Tyaga. Tyaga means not being attached to the fruits of the activities, but doing activities for the pleasure of the Lord. That is what is bhakti. Okay. So now who will read? Sridhar Prabhu, go ahead. Purushaha sa paraha. What is that?
Hare Krishna, Dandot Pranam Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Purushaha sa paraha. In the spiritual sky, the Supreme Lord is present as the Supreme Person. There are innumerable self-luminous planets there, and in each one as expansion of Krishna resides. They are four-armed and they have innumerable names. They are all persons. They are not impersonal. These Purushas or persons can be approached by bhakti, not by challenge. Philosophically, speculation or mental concussions, nor by physical exercise, but by devotion without the deviation of fruitive activity. Hare Krishna. Dandavata Pranam.
So, Vadanti tat tattva vidas, tattvam yajnanam advayam, brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavaniti shabdyate. With the ultimate understanding of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is to understand the Bhagavan feature. And that Bhagavan feature cannot be understood without the guidance of a Guru. Right? Brahmande Brahmite Kona Bhagyavana Jiva Guru Krishna Prasade Paya Bhakti Lata Bija. So it is only with the mercy of Guru we can understand Krishna. Right? Guru Krishna Prasade Paya Bhakti Lata Bija. We will not be able to understand Krishna without the mercy of a Guru. And that is why the first step that is given in Bhagavad Gita is to approach a spiritual master. Otherwise, we will be using our mental concoctions. We will be reading Bhagavad Gita, but we will be thinking, oh, this could be the interpretation, that could be an interpretation according to our own mental concoctions. And we will not be able to arrive at the real conclusion of Bhagavad Gita. Then it becomes useless labor. Because we want to arrive at the right conclusion when we study the Bhagavad Gita and all the Vedic scriptures. Okay. Yeah, who else is reading? Karpakavali Mataji, go ahead. What is the Purushaha?
Thank you, Mataji. Dandatna. Am I audible, Mataji? Am I audible?
Yes, Mataji, go ahead.
What is the Purushaha, the Supreme Person, like? Yasyantaha Sani Bhutani Yana Sarvam Idam Tatam. Every living entity and everything is within him, and yet he is without, all pervading. How was that? He is just like the sun. It is situated in one place, and yet it is present all over by its rays. Although God is situated in his Dhamma Paramam, his energies are distributed everywhere, nor he is different from his energies. Inasmuch as the sunshine and the sun are not different. Since Krishna and his energies are not different, we can see Krishna everywhere, and if we are advanced in devotional service. Shall I continue, Mataji? Can you scroll up? You scroll up, Mataji?
Okay, sorry. Okay, once again. Yasyantahastani bhutani yena sarvam idam tadam. That means, matstani sarva bhutani nachaham teshva pastitah. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, everything is within me and I am within everything, but still I am without. Right? I am all pervading, but yet I am not present in each and every one of them. So that's what we're discussing. All the contradictions actually settle in the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And then Prabhupada gives the example of the sun. Sun is situated in one place, but is still situated everywhere through his all-pervading energy. His energy is situated everywhere, but still he is present as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And since Krishna and his energies are non-different, we can see Krishna everywhere if you are advanced in devotional service. That's why Krishna explains in the 10th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, the opulences of the Absolute. right? Where Krishna is talking about what he represents. He represents the taste in water. He represents the sound of ether, right? Like that, Krishna is giving us various reasons how we can remember the Lord as we do our physical activities, as we see the things around us. How can we remember Krishna? Prema Anjana Churita Bhakti Vilochanena Santaha Sadaiva Hridesh Vilokayanti Yam Shama Sundaram Achinta Gunaswarupam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. When our eyes are smeared with the ointment of love of God, then we will be able to see the Supreme Personality of Godhead with our eyes. Otherwise, we'll be able to see only what is manifest in front of our eyes. We will not be able to see the Supreme Lord like that. Yes, Karpakuli Mataji, go ahead. Those who are filled with love of God.
Those who are filled with love of God see God constantly before them. It is not that we saw God is last night and he is no longer present. No, for one who is Krishna conscious, Krishna is always present and can be perceived constantly. We simply have to develop the eyes to see him. Thank you, Mataji.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So we simply have to develop the eyes to see him. That is what is the kajal. What is that? The kajal of prema. When we apply in our eyes by our surrender to the Lord, then we will be able to see the Lord face to face. Okay, Jyotsna Mataji, go ahead. Due to our material bondage.
Mataji, Danvat Pranam. Due to our material bondage, the covering of the material senses, we cannot understand what is spiritual. But this ignorance can be removed by this process of chanting Hare Krishna. How is this? A sleeping man may be awakened by sound vibration. Although a man may be, for all intents and purposes, unconscious, he cannot see, feel, smell, etc. The sense of hearing is so prominent that a sleeping man may be awakened by just sound vibration. Similarly, the spirit soul, although now overpowered by the sleep of material contacts, can be revived by this transcendental sound vibration of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna is simply an address to the Supreme Lord and his energies. Hare means energy, and Krishna is the name of Supreme Lord. So when we chant Hare Krishna, we are saying, "O energy of the Lord, O Lord, please accept me." We have no other prayer for acceptance by Lord. There is no question of praying for a daily bread, for the bread is always there. Hare Krishna is but an address to Supreme Lord, requesting him to accept us. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself prayed, Ainanda Tanuja Kinkaram Patitam Mam Visame Bhavam Budhav. Repeat.
Tava Pada Pankaja Sthitha Dhuli Sadrisham.
O son of Maharaj Nanda, I am your eternal servitor, and although I am so, somehow or other, I have fallen in the ocean of birth and death. Please therefore pick me up from this ocean of death and fix me as one of the atoms at your lotus feet. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So very, very beautiful what Prabhupada is explaining here. Prabhupada is talking about how a sleeping man, we always keep an alarm clock, right? When we want to get up in the morning, right? Because the ear is the only organ which is working even when we are in deep sleep. That's why when we are sleeping also, we keep the alarm clock to wake us up. And also, it is said that when a child is born, the first organ that develops is the ear. That is why when the child is in the womb also, the mother is supposed to hear Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, chant Hare Krishna, because the child is also able to hear. Right? Because that is when we also saw Abhimanyu, right? When he actually understood how to go into the Chakravyuha. But because the mother slept, he could not understand how to come out. So the hearing is so powerful that one is able to actually hear the first organ that is actually developed in the child, that is also ear. And also when someone is supposed to die, or when is even unconscious, even in such state, only the ear works. We are not able to smell, we are not able to eat, we are not able to see anything, but still we are able to hear. So that is the importance of the ear. That is why when somebody is about to leave his body, the devotees join around and chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Right? There is Sankirtan performed. Nobody actually keeps asks that person to open his eyes and see Radha Krishna picture, or although that is done, it is kept. Radha Krishna picture may be kept, Tulasi may be offered, the Ganga Jal may be offered in the mouth, etc. But however, what is most potent is the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra that is done by the devotees around the person who's about to leave his body. Why? Because the ear is the most sharp, the first organ that develops, and also the last organ that stops functioning is the ear. That is why it is very, very important to always chant Hare Krishna and also hear the Hare Krishna Mahamantra very clearly and loudly. That is why it's recommended to chant. And then Prabhupada makes a very wonderful point. We are not going to pray to the Lord to give us daily bread, right? Even the animals, the elephants eat so much, right? You can see the body of the elephant, how strong it is. It requires so much food, right? Does it make any plan for its food? No. It just walks in the forest, whatever food it gets, green plants, whatever it gets, it eats. And if the Lord can take care of animals and birds and beasts and birds, will the Lord not take care of human beings, right? Why is it that we need to do so much planning for our eating, sleeping, mating, and defending? So we need not ask the Lord to give us our daily bread. What we need to ask the Lord is to just engage us in devotional service. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Shikshashtakam Prabhupada is quoting here. Ainanda Tanuja Kinkaram Patitam Mam Vishame Bhavam Badau Kripaya Tava Pada Pankaja Stita Duli Sadrisham Vichintaya. Somehow or the other I've fallen into the ocean of material existence. I'm having so many desires. But my Lord, please kindly pick me up. And Prabhupada gives an example. If how somebody is fallen in the ocean, even if he's an expert swimmer, because the tides are so much in the ocean, he will not be able to swim. Right? What is the only way that such a person can be saved? Somebody from a ship has to give his hand and pull that person from the ocean onto the ship. That is the only way. Similarly, we are all suffering in this ocean of material existence. So a spiritual master, when he gives this Hare Krishna Mahamantra, is actually giving his hand. By accepting the instructions, we're actually accepting the hand of the spiritual master. And in that way, we will be relieved from this ocean of material existence. We cannot swim our way across the ocean of material existence. We need to be helped by a bona fide spiritual master. That's what Prabhupada is mentioning here. Right? By this ocean of birth and death, we are immediately relieved when we are actually taking the help of a person who is beyond the modes of material nature, who is a bona fide spiritual master. All right. So here we will stop. And let's see who all we have today, and then we'll do Harinam Sankirtan, and then we'll end the session. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Okay, so whom all do we have today? We have Jyotsna Mataji, Shobha Mataji, Karpagavalli Mataji, Ramya Mataji has joined us after a long time. Welcome back, Mataji. Sridhar Prabhu, Anjana Mataji, Navkishori Mataji is there. Suprabha Sumitra Mataji, Moshmi Mataji, Purna Mataji, Sumati, Suresh Mataji, Sindhu Mataji, and all the devotees. Thank you very much for joining us. Vancha Kalpataru Kripa Sindhu Bhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada Srila Gurudev ki jai, Nitai Gaura Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna. So we'll do Harinam Sankirtan, a quick one, and then we'll end. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Aksatyadi Shatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Gurudeva Jaya Gurudeva Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Gaura Hari Bol Gaura Hari Bol Gaura Hari Bol Shirayam Sankirtan ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada Srila Gurudev ki jai, Ananta Koji Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai, all glories assembled devotees, Hare Krishna, all glories assembled devotees, Hare Krishna, all glories assembled devotees, Hare Krishna, all glories, all glories, all glories to Shri Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaura Premanande, Hari Hari Bol, Hare Krishna. So anyone has any queries or want to share any realizations, we can take. Otherwise, we can end the session now. Meet you all tomorrow morning, Brahma Murta chanting session at 5 a.m. and then again at 1 o'clock for Srila Prabhupada book study. All right. Yes, Priyanka Mataji, you want to ask anything? Or was it for reading? I think it was for reading, right? Yeah. All right. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Gurudev ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande. Hari Hari Bol. Thank you very much, Srila Prabhupada.
Dandat Namaste.
Thank you. Danat Pranams.